Well, welcome back to my channel. I'm Railroad. I have a very interesting scenario today. We're going to talk about the Sawmill lumber yard. And the story how this came about is quite interesting. Many years ago, I was stationed down in Georgia, and I have a friend down there who was in the lumber business, and he had a sawmill. I hung around there at times during my times off, and learned a few things. I'm by no means an expert in, lumber and all that, but I learned a few things. Well, the long and short of the story is that when I left, he gave me something. It turned out that he was an American Fly train guy too. He had a sawmill, a model sawmill made by American Fly, and he says, "Doug, this is for you. Take it for you. Take it with you, and be well with it." I said, "Okay, thanks." So from Georgia, I went to Alabama. It was all packed away in a box, and it was Gadsden, Alabama. From Gadsden, Alabama, I went all the way back up north, and it's still packed away until actually today. I went looking for it. It was still in the box, got a little crushed, but I think pieces were missing. But anyway, the story today is that I saw another video online that I watch occasionally, and I'll give it a little plug. It's the ROCKIN-BAR-B ranch, whatever, So there's a little plug for that. That video showed that there was a sawmill episode. So anyways, today I found my sawmill. So that's what we're going to talk about and put it back together, and let's see if it works. So hold on, and we're going to talk more about it. Okay, I'm back in my train hooch. So again, this particular sawmill model was given to me by my friend, and I forgot all about it until I saw the ROCKIN-BAR-B ranch video, and she was talking about a sawmill and lumber. So anyways, it looks like I have to do some work in putting it back together and see if there's anything missing, and I will go through step by step, and whoever has a sawmill, it should be an easy fix. Apparently, this model does not have a lot of electronic components. There's a lot of strings and pulleys, probably one brush, a motor with a brush. It's an open frame motor, and it's pretty simple, but it looks good. It depicts a realism of how the log is going through a saw. The saw is cutting the lumber, and then the planks of lumber is coming out of the lumber mill. And there's a guy actually takes it and dumps it somewhere else. So let's see if I get it working. So hang on. Well, apparently I didn't pack away this sawmill very well back in the day. So probably like, it was back in the mid-2000s when this happened. So through all the travels, it got shook up a little bit. I got bits and pieces everywhere, but I think everything is there. But I should be able to get it operational. So this is the American Flyer 23796 sawmill. This is another fascinating accessory that seems to cut logs, that passes through a plastic blade, and then the boards are picked up by a gantry and is dropped into a waiting flat or gondola car. So it's a lot of action. And there's a guy actually sitting on the I guess the bucket or whatever the situation is on top of the boom. And again, there's not a lot of electrical connections. The entire mechanism is built around arms, pulleys, and string. And again, it's powered by one single brush type motor. It's an open frame motor, pretty much like the open frame motors in the locomotives. So that's what we have. So let me see if I can put this together. And by the way, this was designed back in the 1957. So this makes this accessory, let me see, 60, 40, almost 70 years old. Yeah, close to 70. So, and not bad for the time period when there was no electronics, there were no circuit boards, no computerization, and all designed by American Fly engineers. Yes, they need engineers to actually design all this. It doesn't just happen. It's not like just mold a piece of plastic together and you have a toy. It's a little more than that. There's a lot of blueprints that was involved in making this. So as with any of the other accessories and the locomotives. So that's what we have. So let's see. This is the main. This is the main house, the sawmill. This is the motor. It's an open fry motor, and that powers the saw. This is the saw, and I am missing a few pieces here, which I'm gonna try to put together. Excuse me. This is the trolley, and it's supposed to hold a piece of lumber here. So when this, supposedly this transverses across here, across the blade, and there's some planks of lumber there that will come out after this transfers past the blade. A planks of wood will come out, and this boom is not exactly in good shape, but I will demonstrate to you how the planks of wood are taken off of there and then disposed of in a flat car or gondola or what have you. I have the control button, but I'm not going to hook up the control button. I'm just going to piece this back together again, see what it looks like, and then apply some power to it. I just want to mention, although this was designed in 1957, this accessory was so popular, it was made up until 1964. And in 1964, the cost of this accessory was $12.94. Today, if you can find one of these in good shape and operating in one piece in good condition, it can run you over $100, $200 or thereabouts, somewhere in between. It's a lot more than $12.94. And it is still a very fun and exciting action accessory. And it depicts a real-life lumber sawmill. Here's a closer look of the motor itself. This is the actual open frame motor. It turns, and it's a gear here, and actually it turns this plastic sawmill blade. And simultaneously, as this goes through, there's a mechanism in here. It's all attached by string and pulleys. There's a spring back here that operates a lip that pushes the planks of wood out when the trolley passes up to that point. And this is what the bottom of the sawmill looks like. It's all operated by strings and pulleys. This whole thing moves. And again, all operated by one single motor, and this one goes back and forth, synchronizing with the trolley, bringing the log across the blade, and then synchronizing. Once the trolley passes the blade, planks of wood will actually come out. Let me turn it a little more so you see. Planks of wood will actually come out here. I'm looking at this. It looks like the pulley is a little bit in dishevel, so I think I'm missing one pulley here, but I just made a makeshift bracket here, so in lieu of the pulley, I could actually mount this up. So hang on. Okay, I found the pieces of all the parts here. I think everything is here. This is the control button. It says American Fly Sawmill. You press this button, the thing operates. I'm not going to hook up the button today. I'm just going to demonstrate directly off the transformer. But I just want to show you this is the button, and this is the back hookup. This piece simulates a collection of the sawdust. This piece simulates the raw lumber before it was cut. It goes in like this. So you can see the simulation here. Now, this is just a block of wood. And we have these pre-cut planks of wood that goes inside. Just want to bring to your attention again, there should be a pulley at the end right here, but the pulley is missing. I don't know what happened to it. And that actually holds this whole boom. This is the entire boom, holds it in place. But since I don't have that piece, I made a makeshift bracket here out of pieces of lumber, and that actually should be sufficient to hold together as such. So we have that, and then we also have the carriage. This is the carriage, and this is the carriage lumber pickup. And you have this little guy here. He actually stands in the this bucket, and if I could get him in there. Again, this is the trolley, the car that carries the lumber, the piece of solid lumber. This is the blade. This is the plank carriage, and this is the boom. This whole piece here is the boom, and this is the fellow that operates the entire sawmill. Again, you have the brushless, the brush motor. This has a brush. It's not an induction motor. It's just a regular open frame brush motor. And you have your gears in there, and of course you have your the lip in here that pushes the plank out. It's hooked up to a spring, and all of this is hooked up by a string to a series of pulleys that goes underneath, which I showed you before, that goes underneath into a certain configuration. So let's see if it still works. I'm good. Again, I didn't hook it up to I did not hook it up to the control button, but this is directly hooked up to the transformer just for the sake of demonstration. Well, apparently this is still a little bit sticky, and I need to lubricate, but technically this should push out a piece of wood like this. Well, I got the motor to work, I got the trolley to work, and it looks like the boom is working okay. However, the mechanism that pushes the plank of wood out is a little sticky right now, so I'm going to help it along. Oil doesn't work here, so I'm going to try and get some of the graphite or the super slick lubricants to ease up the stickiness. Again, this has been stored for over, since the mid-2000s, so it's kind of dirty. I clean it up as much as I can, and I will not use oil because oil will gunk it up. But I will. But this is working, so I will demonstrate the cutting. I will help the plank of wood come out, and this little fellow down here will actually carry the plank of wood to its new destination. So let's try it and see now. Well, it's 90%, 95% okay. Again, it's that little push plate that is a little bit sticky, pushing the planks of wood out. Once I smooth that out, clean that up a little bit, it will operate flawlessly. But the motor is working fine, the trolley is working fine, the boom is working good, despite the fact I don't have a pulley at the end here. When you hook this up, just be sure the string on this pulley goes over the top, not underneath. There is one underneath, through this pulley, and then back down to the bottom. If this pulley is not lined up, the string will get all it bunched up and it will not work. So there you have it. American Sawmill. 1950s to mid-1960s was in production. It is now a vintage item. Well, I hope this helps a little bit. Again, I'm glad there was another YouTube video that reminded me that I had one of these in one of my boxes downstairs. So I've forgotten all about it after all these years. So, well, that's the Sawmill. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.